today's show. Go below as this recovery diver discovers a new business just hiding in murky water. Meet Ed the diver.
This is a nice lure.
There we go.
Laura's getting wild in the kitchen.
That is a turkey burger.
And meet the bush pilots who explore the North Woods.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hi everybody, Bill, Millie and I welcome you to Minnesota Bound.
You know, fishtails are a dime a dozen, but Ed Bieber's story is truly one of a kind.
You discovered Ed while doing a little online research.
Yeah, I saw his first video and knew we had to meet him. Landscape design might never be Ed Bieber's sweet spot.
It's just junk.
Ed admits he hoards.
But you never know what you're gonna find. You know, nice propeller you can sell for, I don't know, $1.
But don't for a moment believe any of this is Ed's problem.
Muffler.
He wants to be the solution.
I'm just a guy trying to work hard and make an impact in this world, show kindness to people. Oh man, so much junk. 1, 2, 3.
All this clutter,
This was a motorbike.
a consequence of Ed's day job. A gig where Ed Bieber
Acres away.
becomes Ed the diver. See, Ed operates a small dive recovery business.
People call me when they drop something important in the water, and I can go grab it for them. I do find a lot of stuff: Apple Watches, cell phones, expensive fishing rods and reels.
But Ed's underwater search for one lost object led to discovery of all kinds of others.
There's a lot of different opportunities between lead, lures, bottles.
Lots and lots and lots of literally everything.
You find a lot of random stuff: guns, safes, hard drives, sandbags that people keep snagging on, trash, glass, bottles, aluminum.
Ed documents every dive on underwater cameras. He had an idea. A social experiment of sorts.
I'd start putting together all my videos for my GoPro.
Let's go do some cleanup.
And posted all the videos online.
Yeah, it's growing and people love what they're seeing underwater, the cleanup efforts I'm doing, and it's just a lot of work to maintain, but it's awesome.
People all over the world now watch Ed's underwater work.
He definitely is putting us on the map. Ed's in there. We see the surface, but you always wonder what's below the surface. Some of it you like to see, and some of it you're like, wow, humankind has not been so kind.
And here's the thing. In each random dive, Ed dug up a pattern.
Well, this is a huge mess.
Look at the lures.
Here's that whopper flopper I found. So on those logging cribs, there's a lot of fishing line. There's a lot of lures stuck on those. This is a nice lure, and it looks like it was lost recently.
Up next, one person's trash becomes Ed's brand new business.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Star Bank, White Bear Lake Superstore, and by Your Boat Club.
Ed Bieber makes his living as a dive recovery specialist. You know, the guy who goes out to find your dropped cell phone or sunglasses. But while underwater, he swam upon a new business opportunity. Let me say, if you're an angler, you might be jealous. Most folks know Marinette as a Lake Michigan port town. These days, people know local Ed Bieber.
You gonna do some diving today?
Yeah, I'm gonna head down to the Menominee River and check out the mysteries.
He defines clean cut.
He's always had a good reputation, but now people think that it's pretty cool that he's cleaning up the rivers and finding all of this stuff. And he's an internet sensation now.
Working on it. Yeah.
Discovery of lost fishing baits on dives lured Ed into a new proposition that kicks off on his kitchen table.
Nice big pile of lures. It's definitely worth the time to find these, cut them apart, clean them, make them look new again.
Ed recycles the fishing lures he finds.
So I'm gonna get this a little warm.
Each lure takes a bath.
This one really isn't too dirty. So I do a light scrubbing with this brush. Don't want to wreck the finish.
Ed hand scrubs every single bait.
Patience is definitely part of the game. Looks like that right now. Then I'll take this pad and it'll whiten it up a little more. Looks almost new.
Just like cleaning potatoes.
How much do you cost per hour?
7 husky jerks, 3 clacking wraps.
No clacking wraps. Those are mine.
That is amazing how well that works. The baits get new bling too.
You don't want to walk around barefoot in my house. There we go. Brand new hooks on it.
Now each hangs out.
Running low on those. This is where I put all my lures. When I'm done cleaning them, organizing them, put new hooks on them, hang them out on the wall, and I usually have more in here. I've been selling some here and there. I've got a lot of lures that maybe they have a crack in them or something's wrong with them, so I use them as decoration.
The fact that you can go out and just dive in random places and find that many of the same bait and each color and size, it's unbelievable. Ed's collection caught people's attention.
All over the world, they're begging for them.
So, Ed the diver now moonlights as Ed the salesman.
By selling the lures, it helps me keep going, pay my bills.
Where are you shipping this stuff?
All over the U.S. I think I've got about half the state so far that I've shipped to. Everywhere I go now, I've got little kids coming up to me. Are you Ed the diver? I've got middle-aged guys my age. Are you Ed the diver? And I've got 70, 75-year-old people come up, giving me hugs and say, we love what you're doing for waterways. Thank you so much. It's just a really good feeling to have, and it's nice to know that I'm having an impact.
An impact far beyond fishing baits.
So this is a Model 94 Winchester lever action 30-30. It was wrapped really tight in black plastic and then electrical tape about every ½ inch. Called the sheriff's department. Here's the evidence tag. They couldn't find any crime committed with it or anything, or the owner, so they gave it back to me.
Just one of 10,000 tales. Every one of these finds has its own history. And while Ed may never know, that's okay. He's using each lost object to create his own story. This is completely overwhelming.
It's my life.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
You have a life that nobody else has. What is this all going to lead to?
End game. I have no idea. I'm just enjoying life. I'm enjoying cleaning up the waterways. Maybe I'm starting a new trend and other people want to do it to help clean up and just find the adventure underwater. This is what I love to do right now in this point of my life. It's awesome, the response that I'm getting.
Still ahead, we take flight with Minnesota's high-flying bush pilots. But first, Laura and Jim whip up the ultimate wild game burger.
Closed captioning provided by Radco Truck Accessories.
Today we're getting wild in the kitchen with Chef Jim Kimberg from Stillwater Country Club. And Chef Jim, today is a special day because we are making a wild turkey burger.
A really wild turkey burger.
You're right. We're going to call this one the ultimate wild turkey burger because everything in it is wild. So it's my bird I harvested in South Dakota,
Correct.
wild turkey. And the rest of the ingredients in here are things that you went out foraging for.
I did.
This is all the ultimate teamwork
It
here.
is, yeah.
All right, what are the first steps to getting started?
We're gonna grind that turkey up first, so. And just kind of load that tray up there. And we're gonna slowly just kind of push it through. Now, we're gonna get creative and we're gonna add some wild rice, some morel mushrooms, and some ramps, some wild onions. We're gonna add a good solid cup of the wild rice cooked. So next we're gonna add some of those ramps, those wild onions. So those are just the bulbs. Roasted those with just a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper. We've got the morel mushrooms. So these are dried morels. We picked them earlier this spring. I dehydrated them and I reconstituted them in some hot water.
Extra flavor. There we go.
One last secret ingredient. We're gonna crack one egg. We just want the egg white
Oh, and not the yolk.
and not the yolk. Because turkey, it doesn't like to come together like hamburger. You need a little binder. So let's give that a little mix and we're gonna throw that right through the grinder. Well, there we go.
All right, it's time to make some patties.
We have the grind, so let's form some patties.
Let's do it.
Once again, for all wild game, 165 degrees, no more, no less.
Use the meat thermometer.
Yes.
Don't try to guess. Time for the griddle.
Time for the griddle. So we're gonna use just a little bit of oil. We got these nice turkey patties we worked so hard for.
We did.
Just lay them on there, let them sear.
We're gonna add a little salt and pepper to the mix.
Salt and pepper. Gotta have it.
That's your go-to.
That's right. Good food, that's all you need. A little salt and pepper. Yeah, looks
There we go.
perfect. All right, we're gonna give them a little flip. See how we're doing? Oh,
Look at that.
that.
Beautiful. Now that is a turkey burger. All right, a little raw aged cheddar cheese.
Yes,
My
aged white
favorite.
cheddar. That's good stuff. Looking good. We'll put a little lid over that, let that cheese melt.
Is it time?
It is time. Let's look what we got. Oh,
Look at that. Are you kidding me? This is like the perfect wild burger.
we don't mess around.
No. All right, you ready for a taste test?
I am ready.
The ultimate wild turkey burger. I hunt, you forage, ultimate teamwork.
Came together nicely.
It did. Okay, here we go.
Let's do it.
Oh, wow.
Am I good?
That is very good.
Straight ahead, a Minnesota view from a very different perspective. We go up in the air with Minnesota's float plane flyers.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Lakes Area Power Sports. Visit Brainerd. And by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
This summer, visit Brainerd to wet your line and reel in the big one. Check out visitbrainerd.com and choose your adventure in Minnesota's playground today.
So I'm just back from a little bit of float plane fun in Canada, which is why this next story is so dear to my heart.
Ron Shera goes back in time and hops on board with a few of Minnesota's bush plane pilots.
Of all the wings of man, those with the right stuff possibly are those who fly over unknown skies. Bush pilots, we call them.
I would kind of relate it to you catching a trophy walleye.
Look at that, boys!
The enthusiasm and excitement, the adrenaline rush you get.
What do you think, Johnny?
That's a nice one. I get a kind of a rush like that when I'm planning a flight and finding my way there. And when I get there, I've landed the big fish.
We gotta think ahead when we're hauling fuel here, and fuel is very expensive. We don't have that many weather stations, so it's our own call. Communication is a little bit of a problem because, I don't know, maybe a third of this country is water.
More exciting than anything that one can experience. Doesn't matter what it is, you have a grand command of what you see and what you do. It is absolutely, unbelievably fun.
Flying the bush is indeed often a flight into fantasy, with countless lakes below teeming no doubt with lunkers to land. But for bush pilots, the high is flying the unknown.
Well, I used to work in the bush as a geophysicist, and this is how I got the bug. We used to take helicopters and bush planes every day. I just couldn't help it. I had to do it.
And do it she did.
This is a Cessna 206. It's got 300 horsepower. It's a 5 passengers plane.
Helen landed a job as a bush pilot for Lake Najanalini Lodge in the northern reaches of Manitoba, Canada, where her passengers in autumn are caribou hunters. Checking the oil and readying the airplane is the pilot's duty. Is it tough being a woman?
Not at all. It's tough to get in for any pilot. It's tough to get the first job, but after a few years, it's all the same.
For John Larson, the airplane is his ticket to great fishing experiences.
You always have a different feeling coming back because you know you're flying into civilization, not into the bush. And one of the things you start watching for on the way back is the first road that you cross. A timid pilot probably shouldn't do it. A pilot's got to have confidence in himself. As you build experience, you build more confidence, and you have a lot of confidence in your airplane.
Many landings ago, Francis Einerson began his bush pilot career as a bounty hunter, shooting wolves from the air, which was a legal sport in those days.
Fly cross-handed. Hang on to the stick with your left hand, have an injectored engine at that time, and a throttle here, lay the shotgun across there, and turn the airplane in.
Francis also flew with the most famous of wilderness pilots, Charles Lindbergh.
The airplane tripped across the pond. He was the first to do it, but he was also one of the first that had it absolutely down to a science. Test flew the airplane, was absolutely sure of his own ability to stay awake for 35 hours. All of this he worked into the formula.
But some things never change for bush pilots, no matter where they live or when they fly.
The tough part of it is if it's a gray day, hard to see the snow, then caution must be used. If you make a mistake out here, there's going to be someone nearby to help.
As they say, there are old bush pilots, but no old and bold pilots.
Always so fun. I was on a bush plane in Alaska last summer in search of the Kodiak brown bear.
Did you find any?
We did. Pretty cool.
Better from up there. Well, that about does it for us. We certainly hope to see you back here next week.
And in the meantime, what do we always say? Remember to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Cheer up.
One day, cheer up.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.